What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Shy Gemini, and this is my recap for Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 3. I am so late, and it's actually late right now. I have been attempting to do this video since I got home from work, and everything has been getting in the way. Every time I hit record, somebody either texts me or call me. I really need to get a camera so I don't have to use my phone because this shit is getting absolutely ridiculous and quite annoying. But y'all didn't come here to hear me rant about my issues. This episode, towards the end, I was just thoroughly confused. But we're going to get into it, y'all. Dr. Scott comes home and he's telling Contessa about the party and what happened between him and Toya and her doing this stupid ass, I don't know if it was a toast or whatever she was doing in the crowd and basically shading Contessa about her not being there. Well, Contessa could give a shit about what Toya has to say because she got more things that are important, like dealing with her ailing father. So whatever issues she got, it's not even important, to be honest. But I feel so bad for Contessa and her father in this situation. And I was just thinking, like, Black people, we are so bad at not giving our family news that is important to either help during the situation. He's definitely sicker than what he's leading her to believe. He's been sleeping all day, pretty much, from what she's been saying. When she picked him up from the airport, he was asleep. He got in the car, asleep. He got to the house, sleep. So something is definitely going on. And Mark even mentioned that in cases where he sees that somebody's constantly sleeping, they're taking chemo. And when you look at him, he's frail. When she's talking to her father and she's trying to find out what his doctor said to him and what's going on and some of the tests that they've been trying to run, he lets her know that they definitely feel like he has prostate cancer, but because his scar tissue is so messed up, they can't do a full biopsy on the tissue and they have to look at his pH levels. Well, your pH levels are supposed to be at a 4. His is at 300. So he definitely, it's just not good. I felt so bad because they started crying. He was crying because he feels bad for her feeling bad. Contessa has already lost a parent, so this definitely has to be hard for her. And me looking at it, and I'm a daddy's girl, it just broke my heart to see them in that light. So I just hope they get to spend as much time with each other as possible, because he definitely does not look well. But Toya, girl, it's not important. It's honestly not important. Yeah, she could have texted you, but definitely more important than you. And like she said, you have a party for everything. So what? She'll come to the next party. But that's really what you're mad at, is the fact that she said that. That's what it's all stemming from. But yeah, very sad. Heavenly takes Jackie and she invited Quad to go paintballing to help Quad blow off some steam. But of course, it's up in the air if Quad is going to even show up. And she didn't. She texts Heavenly saying she had something that she had to attend. It was important. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to understand what's really going on with Quad, because even it seems like Jackie is getting annoyed with her. And I thought Jackie, of all people, would be understanding of the situation. But Quad is definitely not communicating with them. But she's saying that nobody's reaching out to her. It's just bad with the situation. Toya and Eugene are yet again looking for another house. And I'm like, what's wrong with the house that you all are living in now? It looked pretty nice to me. It looked pretty accommodating to me for you and your 2 children. So why are you moving again? But we know how Toya is. Has to be grand, champagne wishes on a beer budget. But anyway, I was proud of her in this moment though for realizing that she doesn't want her husband working like a slave just to keep up appearances and keep up with the Joneses. Their budget is $2 million, which is still high as hell to me, but that house that they looked at, which was beautiful, was about 2,900,000. So she told him, look, I don't want you working hard. And he was even willing to, it seemed like he was willing to work with her. But she told him, I don't want you working hard trying to pay for this stuff. I want you to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So that was real cool, Toya. I feel like you guys are definitely growing in your relationship. And I really genuinely feel like Toya loves her husband and she wants the best for him and she wants him to be happy as well as her being happy. So kudos to you for that, but you still wasn't shit for that, what you pulled at that party. Mariah, another one that I was actually happy with in this episode. I love the relationship she has with her daughter. And it kind of made me look back at my relationship with mine. You definitely want to keep the lines of communication open with your children and want them to be able to talk to you. And I hope that I'm doing that with mine. She seems to be pretty open and willing to tell me things, but you never know. So I appreciate the fact that you sat down and you were talking with her and the girl was like, look, I'm 13, but I'm feeling like I'm still 19 years old. I got these little clothes for little girls. And Mariah was like, girl, don't be throwing that Kate Spade dress on the floor. But I got what she was saying, you know. Beautiful moment. I loved it. And honestly, they need to show Mariah with her daughter more often. Simone and Michael, they go for driving, practice driving, and it was a cute scene. And then after they were done, they talked about the whole situation with her and Cecil and how he felt. And, you know, she said Michael is the more sensitive one. He's the more, he's the one that he wears his heart on his sleeve and he'll tell you how he feels. So I got a feeling that he keeps them in line. And when they do stuff or if they argue or they get into it with each other, he's the one that keeps them in check. So keep doing that, because Simone and Cecil, I need y'all to really get this together and eventually live in the same house again. Because this, you living in the north house, he living in the south house, it's just stupid. Heavenly has a crab boil at her house. When she took them crabs out that bag, well, I'm sorry, when they fell out the bag onto the ground, I'm like, the 5-second rule is definitely out the window because them shits was still alive. So how would you pick them up in 5 seconds? She put them in the water and I was just like, that is disgusting. Like, Heavenly, you at least could have took the tongues, picked them up and ran them under some water or something and then dropped them in the water. Like, damn, like, that was disgusting. If I would have known that she dropped them on the floor, if I was a guest and I would have known that she dropped them on the ground before I got there, I wouldn't be eating that shit. I just could not do it. But the girls get there and, you know, Simone has already made it clear that she's not here for Quad shit. She gonna keep it all the way 100, and she feels like Quad is not being a friend and being there for them, and that she's not trusting them enough to share what's going on with her. I mean, I get it, but some people handle the situations totally different, and you can't expect them to be like how you are. A lot of people, when they're going through stuff, their reaction is to draw back and not be around people. I'm one of those people. When I'm going through, I don't want to be in nobody's face. And I don't mean no harm, honestly. But I just cannot be in people's face when I'm going through. I cannot do it. So I would hope that my friends will understand what's going on. Instantly, when she gets there, they go in on her. And I'm like, okay, if you're trying to get her to understand where you're coming from and how you feel, this may not be the way to do it. I don't know how I feel about this situation, y'all, because I'm trying to understand who is not communicating with who. Quad is saying one thing, that they're not reaching out to her, but they're saying that they are, and she's ignoring them. Or when they invite her somewhere, she declines. She goes back and forth with Simone and telling her, I don't have time for this. Y'all know Quad is dramatic. She's very dramatic. But it went from Simone telling her, you don't talk to us, to her saying that you feel like you're better than us. So of course Quad is in her feelings and she's crying. She goes and asks for some glue for her lashes. Mariah gets up, tries to hand her her purse, and Quad takes it. I didn't see anything that she did in that moment. I know she doesn't like Mariah. It's a given. We know she doesn't like Mariah. But I didn't see if she was aggressive when she took the purse. Like, what's going on? And then Mariah went in on Quad. Like, I am trying to be nice to you. And calling her a bitch. And I'm like, whoa. So then that wasn't enough for Mariah. She had to confront her about the way she grabbed the purse. And then they get into it. And now, Mariah, you didn't hit her, and I don't think you were trying to fight, but you did touch her. And she doesn't know where your head is, so maybe she thought you were trying to be aggressive with her and fight her, but it just went left, like, real fast. But Mariah did try to come back and be like, look, Quad, like, chill. And I feel like, honestly, out of all the ladies that were at this crab boil, her and Contessa, Mariah and Contessa, were the ones that was trying to throw her a bone. And Mariah is not one of my favorite people, but I just feel in this episode, she wasn't trying to be confrontational until she had to confront her about the whole purse thing. But she said, what y'all doing right now is not sisterly. This is what Quad is saying. And then Heavenly got mad. Heavenly, with that squeaking in there, like, girl, I wish you would stop doing that. But it was surprising that of everybody, Mariah and Heavenly were getting along. And she even fixed Mariah a drink. I'm like, okay, this has changed. It's like everybody can't get along at the same time. If this group makes up, then this group is mad at each other. So it was just a mess. And I'm like, why? We need to understand the breakdown of what's really going on. Are you really communicating with them, or what? What's going on? But y'all, that was really the episode. I just want to really understand what's going on and the truth to come out of who's really not communicating with each other and if they're really being supportive. I think they are, because this group, they've always been supportive of everybody, even when they go through their marriage retreats and stuff like that. Of all the housewives and everything, they are the most supportive of each other. So y'all need to get it together. Dr. Jackie needs to hurry up and get there, because she's the voice of reason. Simone can be sometimes too, until she starts all that yelling and stuff. But that was it, y'all. It was a decent episode, but I just want them to get to the root, like Iyanla say, get to the root of what's going on. That's it, y'all. I'm sorry this review is late, but life happens. It happens. So I shall see you for the next episode.